Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is the Michigan Team Rivalry Show brought to you by Rise Window and Door, but more on that later. It's about this time where I say, hey, who's in the chat? And it's pretty quiet out there. Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh, Tom's there.
Tom just showed up.
Tom. All right. Tom's saving us.
Hey, Tom. Glad to
Thank
have
God
you out
for
there.
Tom.
So, Mac, you know how like we start the video, we talk to people in the chat for a second there, and then we usually have a joke.
Yeah.
And I've been trying, and I've been having a tough time coming up with anything. It's just been that kind of a week. I think we need to bring in some fresh talent.
You know, I've been kind of thinking the same thing, honestly. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, like a year and a half. And it's just been a wild ride. And I couldn't agree more. I do think that we need to bring in some new blood. And lucky for us, I've actually got us covered.
Okay.
In about 7 or 8 months or so. We are going to be bringing on some new blood. And check this out. I've already got their costume picked out.
Check it out. A jersey.
Hey.
A little miniature one.
A little miniature one. How about that, huh?
Good job by J.J. McCarthy. Take the handoff. And Alec Manis is going to throw a pick. They give it to Corum. Up back. Corum. Touchdown, Wolverine. Roman Wilson does it again. 4 months of daylight. He's got some speed and some blockers. Outside. Turns the corner. Blake Corum down the sideline. Looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Wolverine. McCarthy extends the play. Now using legs. McCarthy a first down.
The clapping goes on forever.
On so long.
Good evening, everybody. All right. So, yes, it's official. We get to announce it. This is Mac's good news that he's had. You guys are having a baby.
We're having a baby.
All right.
Yeah. I know. Due April 21st. But actually, we're expecting. Oh, thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. We are expecting him or her to come early, though, just by nature of all the stuff that's going on. So maybe March. Maybe it'll be a what's that
March
holiday
Madness.
in March where you get to drink?
St. Patrick's Day.
That's the one.
I mean, you can drink for any holiday, but
that's fair.
St. Patrick's being a highly religious holiday is apparently the holiday that the Irish choose to drink, and so do we.
I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we're having a kid. It's great.
Congratulations. I am excited also.
Yeah.
Because I get to be a grandpa again.
Part 3.
Yeah. Very nice. So as we saw there, Tom Bouchard is out there. He's using the crying Ryan emoji, which
heck yeah, he is.
StreamYards or Streamlabs here doesn't like to put up for some reason. We're being censored. That's our First Amendment right being attacked right there.
What? Again?
Brandon says go blue.
Go
Tom
blue,
Bouchard
Brandon.
says, what's up, fellas? Matthew has a big long one comment here. Even though Ohio soft guys have the #1 wide receiver Jeremiah Smith and #1 defensive player in Caleb Downs, Michigan in my eyes has the #1 running back in Justice Haynes and #1 QB Bryce Underwood, as well as more. I agree.
Yeah. You just got to use them. Just got to use them.
I saw a stat from last Saturday's game that both Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes were clocking at 21 miles an hour when they broke out on their runs.
Okay, you know what's funny, though? Do you know how fast they used to clock Denard Robinson at?
No.
They got Denard
19 or 20.
They got him at 24 at
24,
one point.
Yeah,
when he broke out in the open against Bowling Green that one time, they got a top speed of 24 miles an hour. And at one point, he was pulling more G-forces or the same level of G-forces as what astronauts experience on launch.
Oh, jeez.
I can't even with that guy.
Rufus says congrats also. Very nice.
Thank you, Rufus. Appreciate that.
Matthew says congratulations, my friend. Also, welcome to Sleepless Nights.
Bro, you don't know the third of it.
He doesn't know because he grows in German.
My wife coming in with the casual racism. Love it.
Already with the trash talk. I don't know. Jeez.
Hi, honey.
Brandon, free speech. Okay. So tonight, welcome everybody out there. Glad to have you guys with us. We are short on games tonight. We've only got 2 games to talk about. We are going to talk about quarterbacks, though. Will Bryce Underwood live up to the hype is kind of what we want to talk about. And we're going to compare him to Dante Moore, Julian Sayin, possibly Drew Allar. We'll see how that goes. But then also we've got number 1 Ohio State versus Washington and number 6 Oregon versus number 3 Penn State. Is this Franklin's year? Don't answer that.
Oh, all right.
Put it in the chat. What do you guys think about all of that stuff? We also have memberships are out there. It really helps us out. It's only $1 a month, and you can see the scroll there of the people who have been members for more than a month, and then the text people who have been members for at least a month. But it really helps us out. Also, if the chats get out of hand tonight, and by out of hand, I mean if there's so many that I can't keep up, remember super chats will bump you right to the top. Not doing that because I'm begging for money. It's just reality. Trying to, we love doing this because we get to talk with you guys, and so many people are joining in the conversation now that it's hard to keep everybody going. So the super chats will bump you up to the top, and we will get your stuff on screen and talk about it.
Well, they were anyway, because like a month ago we were getting 70, 80 people in the live stream, and now we're at 15. Where did everybody go?
There's a lot of competition out there. I know you guys got a lot to watch.
No.
I mean, so many YouTube channels right now, so many people talking football right now because we're in the thick of it. So we really do appreciate you being with us and talking about stuff. So quarterbacks, Ohio State, Washington, Oregon, Penn State, and your chats in the next 90 minutes. We also have a poll going on, which has 13 votes already, 62% to 38% saying that Washington should be ranked. I see that. I think it was Joel Klatt who said it was a crime or unconscionable that that Washington isn't ranked.
They haven't played anybody, but also whatever. We'll get into that.
Sure.
Yeah.
We are brought to you by Rise Window and Door. Mac, I forgot to ask if you had the ad copy ready to go.
I do.
You do.
I do.
All right. So here is our sponsor, Mac. Welcome the sponsor.
Welcome, sponsor.
Very nice. Okay, now read the ad stuff.
Okay. This episode of Team Rivalry is powered by Rise Window and Door, serving Jackson, Ann Arbor, and Lansing. Rise delivers expert craftsmanship, not just in windows, doors, or custom trim, but across the home improvement spectrum. Locally owned and operated, they bring big precision with small town care. No cookie cutter solutions here, no shortcuts. Whether it's upgrading your exterior or transforming your interior, Rise handles every detail with the care and precision you want for your home. Call 810-673-7473 or head to risewindowdoor.com to schedule your free consultation today and let Rise help you realize the vision you have for your home. Look, they're a supporter of the show, so if you're looking to have any home improvement projects completed, they're going to do the best job you could ask for, and you'll be supporting the channel while doing so.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Rise Window and Door, great company. They do great work for sure and for certain. The poll, let's see. Yeah, 57. We now have 14 votes. Washington should be ranked is still at the top. Also, I wanted to get into our fantasy football real quick here, just to give everybody an update as to what's going on with our fantasy football teams. I'm laughing because I'm at the bottom.
Do we want to bring Ben on? He's just going to say
Ben, are you okay back there? Vape if you're okay. All right. We'll bring you on in just a second. I'm just going to do the fantasy football thing here. Right now, as it stands, Buck Nasty is number 1. And our buddy GT is in second place. 9th place or bust is his name, but he is actually in second place. I am at the bottom.
Yeah, seriously.
Mac, Mac, which one's your team?
What?
Remember your team name?
Buckeyes are in shambles or something.
Oh,
hang on.
You're in 8th place.
Yeah, I'm right above you.
Yeah. No, you're not. There's somebody in between us there. Massive influence in between us. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna bring Ben on now.
Okay, bring Ben on now. Poor guy.
Ben, just as you're about to cough. Sorry, man.
I was like,
I can hide you again if you need to cough real quick.
I can just mute myself too.
All right. Ben, how are you?
No, doing good. Doing good. Looking forward to this week. We've been looking forward to this game quite a while now. And
Yeah, this is a big matchup.
It's finally here.
What,
sure.
Washington, Ohio State?
Yes. Washington, Ohio State. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I was wondering.
exactly
It was
what I'm
either
waiting for.
that or Cleveland versus Detroit right now. Did you guys know that Detroit blew a 15-game division lead?
Yeah, I've heard it's tough to watch them right now. I haven't watched a lot of baseball this year.
I haven't watched a single game in 15 years.
15. Let's see. This weekend makes that 15 years. Yep. Goodness gracious. We've got, Brandon, speaking of Washington, Brandon says Washington is definitely underrated.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Gigi says the Oregon PSU game should be a good one.
That's Mr. Dope to you.
That is Mr. Dope. Yeah. Paralegal Asian Posh Doreen. Doreen apparently has a new job. She's a paralegal now.
Wow. How about
Very
that?
cool.
Okay.
And 12 months of membership. Thank you very much, Doreen. We appreciate that. Matthew says, I'd hate to say it now. Who am I kidding? Washington is defeating Ohio State. We're good with
Do
that.
it.
Asia says, long time. Asia. Doreen says, long time no see. I can read. I love to read.
Oh, he reads so goodly, you guys. This guy.
Yeah, Matthew wants to know, Mac, when you're going to change your mic light colors to maize and blue.
I can't.
Why not?
You can't. I can't change the colors.
Well, that's no good.
I don't know why. Yeah, it didn't come with like software that you could download. It's automatic. It just shifts.
Marmar wants to. Whoops, that's the wrong
Why
one.
are we big right now?
Because it was the chat thing was covering up Ben. I wanted him to be able to be seen.
Why?
Marmar wants to join the show. Hold that thought, Marmar. But all right. Oh, Trojan says, where you been hiding, Ben? Ben, tell them where you are, where they can find you.
I've not been hiding. I don't know why people keep thinking I've not been hiding. You can find Spaz and I on the Quacking Off channel now, as well as we're doing the new After Dark show. Not this Saturday, the late post game show. So doing it this Saturday. Do it Sunday or something like that. But yeah, you can find me and Spaz over there on Quacking Off on YouTube.
Quacking Off. There you go. Good stuff. Blue Wolverine is celebrating 16 months of membership. He has been with us from the beginning. He was here before we even had memberships. He was our very first super chat. Really appreciate that. We love Blue Wolverine, who, as I will prove eventually, is actually Batman. But we'll get to that later. Let's get into our first topic, which is the quarterback situation. So we are 4 weeks into the season now. We're getting a better idea of what our quarterbacks can do. The question before us is, are they living up to expectations? Now, this is a Michigan channel, so we're comparing quarterbacks to Bryce Underwood, but we'll get the whole conversation in here. Bryce is the one who has caused the most stir preseason. And we can talk about whether or not he's actually lived up to that hype or not. But you guys, I was looking at, so I have a chart, and I didn't put a graphic up, but we have a chart. If we're talking about Underwood, Dante Moore, and Julian Sayin, and that's why I was hoping Garrison would be here. I don't know where Garrison is. And we're going to include Sayin in this conversation. Right now, if we're talking wins and losses this year, Underwood is 3-1. Moore and Sayin are both. Well, Moore is 4-0. Sayin is 3-0. QBR ratings. How are you guys feeling about QBR ratings? I heard there's a discussion as to whether QBR ratings are any better than like an FPI. What do you guys think about that?
Ben, you go first.
It's a meaningful tool. I think I'm one of the people that really doesn't focus on QBR, especially at college levels.
Okay.
I don't. It's kind of like the rating systems, like due to completion, sack. It's kind of like the NFL, but the college level is so the points are so much weirder. Like,
okay.
I don't really focus that on that much. I just look at the production and the performance. I'd rather see completion percentage, touchdown interception ratio straight up. I really don't. I don't focus on the ratings or the QBR stuff that much personally.
Okay. Mac, what are your thoughts on the QBR?
I just figured out what the QBR is last night when I when I recorded that video. Also, why are we still big? But anyway, what was I saying?
This is why. Because Blue Wolverine just gave us a $49 super chat.
Oh,
Hippo character sitting into an office chair when they both transform into a mecha chair hippo hero. Is that your AI prompt? Are you trying to make that picture?
Rock on, dude.
I love it. Thank you, Blue Wolverine. Appreciate it.
That's amazing. I appreciate the donation. My future child appreciates you. Oh, wait.
Are you going to hang him upside down?
Yeah, apparently. Sorry. Boom. There we go. Yeah. Donate to my diaper fund, guys.
There you go. So, Mac, when you found out about the QBR rating last night, what did you find out?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. The QBR is kind of interesting. And like the PFF grades and stuff like that, I think are really interesting. What is it? Pro Football Focus, I think. They're interesting stats to have. But the problem is individual players do not a team make, right? So a player, an Arch Manning, can have a really good QBR, actually a really bad QBR, I should say, because he so far has a really bad QBR this year. But Texas doesn't look as good as Texas is still beating teams. Sorry. Wow. Where am I going with this? So I feel like these individual statistics and all that really don't tell the full story. And so it's like, I work in digital marketing, right? If we look at something like a click-through rate. If we looked at the click-through rate is how many people saw an ad and actually clicked on it. I know none of you care about this. And frankly, the fact that I work in marketing makes me feel like I sold my soul to the devil, but sorry. I make really good money doing it, so suck it. If you just look at that one statistic, you're ignoring a whole bunch of other statistics that actually tells the full story. Yeah, B-Dub, we're expecting a baby. Yeah, we got a new little Michigan fan coming next March or April. You're missing the full story. Right? Individual statistics do not tell the full story. So the fact that QBR is taken as like, I don't know, is made as big of a deal as it is, I think just doesn't really help anything. I mean, you're not going to learn what a football team is like. I mean, frankly, Cade McNamara didn't have a great QBR with Michigan, and they played very well that year. JJ McCarthy had a pretty solid QBR, all things considered, but it wasn't even as good as it could have been had they used JJ McCarthy up to his potential. And what did they do in 23? They won the national championship. So it doesn't tell the whole story.
All right. Well, looking at the rating then. So this is passer rating. So Underwood is at 121.7, and I'm not exactly sure what the point system is that gets him here. We know that the higher the points, the better in this case. But Underwood is at 121, Moore is at 195, and Sayin is at 199. So as we were talking about, Dante Moore here is actually the most experienced player. He has what'd you say, Ben? He has 5 games at UCLA back in 23.
Yeah. He officially started, I believe it was 5 games, but he also got pulled during a couple of those. So you can give him the 5 number, or you can give him like 3 or 4, technically.
Okay. And then this year, obviously, he has 4 games going. He's the starter this year, right?
Yes.
He is QB1.
He's the full-time starter.
Yeah. So, but still, even so, he's got a 195 rating. 11 touchdowns, 1 interception, passing yards 962, rushing yards 87. Comparing that to Underwood also at 4 games, but with 1 loss, you've got a rating of 121, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 733 passing yards, 169 rushing yards.
I think your big difference there in your rating, what you're seeing is like specifically between Sayin and Moore is while Sayin has this is why also the rating's a little weird. So he has 2 more picks, less touchdowns, but he has a higher completion percentage. So I think the completion percentage is being taken as a rating. It's not like much of a boost, 195 to 199. I don't think that's that much of a big difference, because then there's also those other things like decision making in certain circumstances and however that all works. So it's an interesting stat. I'm going to go with it's mostly the completion percentage. That's the difference really in those like 4 points.
And what's fascinating about that though is how much does the completion percentage bear on the quarterback? Because if you've got a wide receiver core, and I'm just going to pick on Michigan, we've got a couple of wide receivers that seemingly can't catch.
We've got 4 wide receivers that can't catch.
All right. But Bryce Underwood is a good passer. He is getting that ball to them, but they're not catching it.
There's another statistic here too. Also, I think drops are kind of taken in the rating where it's not on the quarterback to a degree. There's another difference, and it's a very, I would say, minute difference. Sayin is at 11 yards average. Moore is at 10.1 yards average.
Mm-hmm.
So just that little difference, which I think you would say if it's 10 yards per attempt, that's pretty good. 11, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little differences like that.
Okay, yeah. Mac, what are you going to say?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah. No, so that's another reason why I think the QBR is problematic, though, because the QBR actually relies on the performance of the wide receivers, too. Like if you take Bryce Underwood's completion percentage against Nebraska, it was 50-something or another. If you remove the amount of drops that the wide receivers had, it goes up to 70. I think it's over 70, which is respectable to say the least. So, yeah, I mean, I think that QBR, I don't know. I don't like individual stats like that.
Yeah, it's always tough. You've got a whole team to depend on. Obviously, if you've got a good quarterback and a terrible team, that's going to affect it. If you've got a great team and a terrible quarterback,
that's the
you're
thing
in a world
too.
of hurt.
If
or,
you don't,
you could be Michigan last year.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Okay, so what blew my mind coming out of the Nebraska game though is the amount of people who said Dylan Raiola is a bad quarterback. Like the amount of people who said that Dylan Raiola, I'm out on Dylan Raiola. The kid's not a good quarterback. He got sacked 8 times. He got sacked 8 times because his offensive line's a freaking sieve. All right. Mm-hmm. Like he got sacked so much that I don't know how he's seeing straight at this point. That's not his fault at all. The kid was running for his life. It's kind of amazing. Yeah. I thought he was a running quarterback, but he didn't really even scramble all that much. So there wasn't really a lot in terms of his mobility. So they really needed to figure out something on the offensive line, and they completely dropped the ball, dude. Like that's why Dylan Raiola had a bad game. And it wasn't even a bad game. The kid threw for like 300 yards.
Well, and he played on a bad ankle there for at least a quarter.
Yeah, and his own lineman stepped on his foot. Yeah.
So looking at Underwood, though, so like I was saying before, and you guys know this, that Bryce Underwood got a lot of hype the preseason, the number 1 pick, 5-star, $10 million NIL. I saw Kirk Herbstreit and I forgot the other guy's name, but they did a podcast and they were talking about Bryce Underwood being very talented but inexperienced, and that he was going to excel rapidly. They were marveling at his poise. They were marveling at his maturity. It's just the experience is just not there yet. And the team is still coming together. So, well, as I said, since this is a Michigan channel, we're primarily talking about Michigan. How do you guys feel that Bryce Underwood is handling the pressure at Michigan? Is he developing or is he not living up to the hype?
Ben, you may go first again.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, just looking at his numbers, obviously, like you guys just said, though, he's got his receivers are not helping him in certain situations. So his completion percentage is not great. He's also not, I don't think, in a way being utilized. I mean, 2 touchdowns through the air. That's it. I'm sorry. The competition.
I think one of those is. Oh no, those are 2. Yeah, 2 passing touchdowns. He's got 1 rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and the competition hasn't been like
2.
And the competition hasn't been like world beaters to a degree. Obviously, maybe outside like even Nebraska, and they're not world beaters.
Yeah.
But at least that was a step up on the road. Then
Oklahoma was a good.
That one was. Now they're without Mateer, so that might be go downhill real fast for them too.
What happened to Mateer?
He broke his hand.
Yeah, he's having surgery.
Oh no!
But they're on a bye week, and then they have Kent State, so they're before they get to like SEC play. So you'll see how that goes. But I do think they have utilized his legs more, or maybe that's just, I don't know if that's entirely by design or if that's more of him just scrambling. But yeah, 22 rushes, 169 yards, pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, obviously the guy's got wheels. He can run the ball, but maybe they're trying not to put too much on him, I think. Because again, like you say, he's a true freshman. Every true freshman quarterback, not a redshirt freshman, true freshman, but even redshirt freshman quarterbacks, when they first start, all of them are going to make mistakes. And so I think the coaching staff is trying to utilize him to the best of his abilities while not putting him in totally bad spots. And you're going to see these mistakes. He's going to make it. And then, like you say, if you don't have receivers that are going to help him out, though, that's also going to hurt him. So as long as he doesn't lose his composure or lose his confidence, I think he'll still have a good year. He's still putting up good numbers.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the W comes down, I mean, the numbers are good, I would think. Mac, go ahead.
I think that's a really good point. Every true freshman is going to make mistakes. And the thing of it is, too, is that you're dealing with a human being. And I feel like, as Michigan fans, we get wrapped up in he's a 5-star. He's, probably Michigan's best quarterback prospect ever. He's going to take us to the promised land. Never mind the fact that JJ already did that. It would just be cool if Bryce took us back. That'd be really cool. He's a human being. He's a kid. He just turned 18 years old. Yes, he looks incredibly poised. He's got a lot of raw talent. And honestly, it looks like he's even got a lot of really developed talent. I mean, he already looks like he could go to the NFL in, 2 years or so. But he's a human being. And I think that a lot of Michigan fans, their issues with the game plan against Oklahoma, maybe they're valid, but at the same time, I think we have to remember that Sherrone Moore is trying to protect the psyche of his quarterback as well. Because if you go into Oklahoma with the type of game plan, because we all saw the Oklahoma game plan. I mean, maybe it wasn't the right game plan. I personally think it still could have worked, because I know a lot of people were upset that Chip Lindsey was trying to establish the run well into the second half. They were only down a score at that point. I think it's still well worth it to try and establish the run. But, everybody's saying, let Bryce Underwood throw the ball, and he wasn't throwing the ball. Let Bryce Underwood run, and he wasn't really running. Could you imagine if Bryce Underwood ran and got smacked by Oklahoma, if he fumbled, if he started throwing interceptions and his psyche just spiraled from there and they got blown out against Oklahoma, and then he has to go on the road against Nebraska, and Nebraska's not good against Oklahoma. But at that point, the ceiling's been, or the glass ceiling's already been broken. The barrier is open. At that point, if anything bad happens, he's having nightmares of Oklahoma. Whereas right now he can say, hey, he had a good game against Oklahoma. It wasn't his fault that they lost against Oklahoma. It was, call it a bad game plan, or just say that Oklahoma was the better team, because that's what they were. They were the better team that week. The boa constrictor type football that we wanted to play against Oklahoma wasn't going to beat them. And that's okay. That's what happens. We don't have the offensive line to keep up with their defensive line yet. Maybe we will later. But the thing is that by saving his psyche, that may have been what ended up winning them the Nebraska game. That gives them a much firmer foundation going into games against Wisconsin, and then on the road against USC. And then Washington's a home game, but Washington actually looks pretty good. We're going to need him to be on his game the rest of the season at this point. So I think it was the right move for Oklahoma. And I don't know. I mean, I think he's playing pretty well, all things considered. And not a lot has been asked of him, but what has been asked of him, he's performed really well, especially for a true freshman.
Yeah, what I find impressive about him too is, like I've said before, he's a big guy. And not only can he, I mean, when he does run, he's throwing off blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's knocking people over. I forget which game it was, but he actually flipped over one of the defenders. Just threw him over his back, kind of thing. I think that's going to help him a lot, obviously. Plus, if he's, getting sacked isn't going to be as bad because he's big enough to take those hits. So, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how he grows through the season.
Yeah.
Couple of chats here. Let me run through these. Doreen thinks you're gonna have a baby Buckeye.
Wow.
No, she says just kidding. Just kidding.
Already trying to poison my child? He's not even alive yet. Well, I guess he's alive. He's just not on. He's not here yet.
Going back to the QBR rating, I think this is Ralph says that some systems, a 90-yard TD run is the same as a 10-yard run. Positive play rating on ESPN, the one the Nebraska people were hanging on to. So a 90-yard TD run.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Span says nobody could throw it away quicker than Roger Staubach. That's going back. That's going back to the 70s and 80s there, man. That's been a long time.
Staubach.
Roger Staubach. Yeah, he was one of the greats. Tom Bouchard. What?
He played for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How about that?
Tom Bouchard says developing. Bryce Underwood's developing.
Yeah.
Matthew Shepard says he's doing great in my eyes. If Bryce can throw the short passes a touch easier, he'd be doing insanely great. Yeah, I noticed that too. He's hitting those guys with I mean, not bullets, cannon shells, and they're just bouncing off of him.
He's blowing their hands off.
He's got to let up on that a little bit. Ralph also says best time, quote unquote, best time for his injury. He's got a few free weeks to recover. Materials like Ben was saying. Is he out for the season?
Yeah, he's having surgery, and he's basically done for this. I think they said that he might be able to come back towards the end of the regular season, but
okay.
Yeah.
Matthew Shepard says, no, get it right. Bryce Underwood is by far not an average freshman QB.
That's true. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I go with that, but it's still, I mean, he can be an above average freshman QB, but it's still maturity and experience. You don't just get to be experienced because you're a good player.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going on there. Ralph says Bryce pocket presence is his best quality by far. He doesn't seem to get rattled even after a bad play or frustrated after drop passes. That I think is right. I think he's able to recover pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's really good at identifying what happened and moving on from it.
Yeah. And L says, does Mac stop saying he? You don't know if it's a he. Could be a girl.
I don't. And I just want to put this out there. I would be an incredible girl dad.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm a sensitive guy. And so, except I'd have to kill all their boyfriends.
Probably. Yeah.
Her boyfriend.
Why can't we just, okay, this is from Matthew. Why can't we just say Bryce Underwood truly what he is a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent? Embrace his uniqueness and unleash Bryce. See what he's really got. I mean, it's fine with me. It's just, he's got to do that. Nobody cares.
It's also
what are you guys doing?
It's still early in the season. It's still early in the season. Like
it is.
Let him get a little more experience in game time situation, and then unleash him in some of those more, I would say, bigger, more important games. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see it if we have, if he just gradually builds up. Well, anybody would love to see this for their quarterback. Just gradually builds up through the season to whereby the last game he's. Every pass is a touchdown pass. Obviously, that's unrealistic, but you know what I mean. Getting that
45 pass attempts a game, all of them is a touchdown.
Yeah, no, like getting those first downs consistently, not getting stuck on third down, not getting off the field on third down, or taken off the field on third down. Oh, Ralph is challenging here. Hopefully, it's twins or triplets. That's life-changing. All right, guys. That's the QBs. Now we're going to talk about, let's talk about Ohio State first. I want to do this one first. We'll save Oregon for last. Michigan is on a bye week, as we all know, so we can't talk about Michigan this week, other than that's why we talked about Bryce Underwood. What is your problem?
That's just very upsetting. Wow, that's professional.
Telling you. All right, number 1, Ohio State versus Washington. Even though preseason rankings don't matter, but Ohio State is still number 1 somehow.
I will agree with what you guys were talking about. Even as me hating Washington as much as I do, how they're not ranked, but a certain other 1 and 2 team is. After they still gave up 30 or 31 points to Purdue. I don't know. Something's wrong here.
Is that? Yeah. What? You're talking about Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
Notre Dame is.
No, Dad. The other 1 and 2 team that gave up 30 points to Purdue.
Notre Dame is ranked number 22 over Illinois. Okay, let's talk about the Illinois-Indiana game for a second.
Oh, that was brutal. I turned it off. I picked Illinois. I turned it off. I was so disappointed.
Illinois got beat up like an FCS team.
Yeah.
Brett Bielema had a stroke on the sideline at one point in the game in like the late third quarter.
That was insane. But again, so this is the ranking system is just worthless because Indiana and Illinois have switched spots. Illinois is 23 now, Indiana is 11. And what was it last week? Illinois was 9 and Indiana was 19 or 20. So they've traded spots, and I'm not even sure Illinois should be ranked after the beating they took. I mean, they got slaughtered. Like I said, like an FCS team. I mean, they just got smushed.
Like a bug.
Like a bug.
Illinois had 161 total yards. They converted 1 third down out of 10.
Just insane.
Literally, okay. Indiana had the ball for 40 minutes. Indiana had the ball for 75% of the game.
That's how you make Fernando Mendoza the Heisman frontrunner. That type of game. What was he? 22 of 25 or something like that?
21 of 23 for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. Just like
it's ridiculous.
Wow.
They're currently number 2 in the Big Ten under USC. That's stupid.
Okay, let me ask you this question real quick though. So, I mean, obviously that is a massive score. So, is Indiana the real deal this year? I mean, obviously last year they had their best season ever, but they got slaughtered in the playoffs. How are we feeling about them this year?
They didn't get slaughtered.
Well, not slaughtered, but they lost round 1.
Well, yeah, but just because you lose doesn't mean you got slaughtered. You know?
True. I apologize. I used hyperbole, and I'm sorry. That never happens in football. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what you were thinking either. That was really stupid and silly of you.
So is Indiana the real deal?
I think you'll learn more about Indiana here in a couple weeks. I don't have Indiana's schedule right in front of me. Let me see what they have.
They play Iowa on Saturday and then Oregon after that.
Yeah, at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
After Oregon has our bye week. So they're at Iowa, then at Oregon.
Dude.
Home
all right, look,
at Maryland, at Penn State. If they're unbeaten, go into Penn State, which the Oregon game's the big, I think probably the bigger test.
Yeah.
After that, it's just Penn State. So this could still be another even 10-win team again.
Well, no, they've got Wisconsin.
Blasphemy. They have to finish with Purdue. You know,
yeah.
There you go.
Man, when's the last time we laughed at Wisconsin? All right, Ohio State, Washington. Here's what we've got. Number 1, Ohio State is going out to Washington. Is this okay? So if you're Ryan Day, what's your biggest concern? Actually, you know what? Before that, let me back up. If this the stats on this one open up at, let's see, the spread is 8.5 in Ohio State's favor. The total, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, the spread. The over-under is 51.5. So 8.5, this game should be close, but I think the FPI is heavily in Ohio State's favor.
Yes.
If you're Ryan Day, what's your biggest concern heading into Husky Stadium this weekend?
Whether or not Julian packs enough hair gel for the game. That guy's got awesome hair. I'm just gonna come right out with it. I'm jealous of his hair.
Sure.
Speaking as a guy who's got a bald spot here and here, right around here. Yeah. He's got awesome hair.
Let me throw this at you. Julian Sayin has a completion percentage of 78.9%. DeMond Williams, 73.5%. Their passing yards are 779 and 778. Julian has 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. DeMond has 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This is fascinating. Julian has -7 rushing yards. DeMond Williams has 220.
And 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
And 2 touchdowns.
That's more.
That's a lot.
That's the type of analysis you come here for.
Yeah. So if you're Ryan Day,
the math is mathing.
What's your biggest concern here if you're Ryan Day?
Ben, you're welcome to go first again.
I hate Washington, but I will say I think for Sayin, one of the things is if you're Ryan Day is can the composure stay in that type of stadium? I think so because Ohio State's still a very deep and talented team. But what happens if Sayin has a rough start all of a sudden in this game? Because Washington they'll be fired up for this game. They will be. Husky Stadium will get loud. It's a daytime game. It's not a night game or anything like that. But I would have to say that him not getting rattled immediately in the game and throwing him off course, just like you were talking about with Underwood, don't get his confidence crushed immediately because one mistake turns into another mistake and it just slowly unravels. So for Ryan Day, I think you have to trust your run game to set up passing when you need it. You're not going to go out there, I don't think, and unleash Julian Sayin just, hey, just throw the ball wherever, I don't think he's going to do that. Not in that situation. Not for his first real road test because Washington is looking pretty good this year. And DeMond Williams has looked the part after taking over last season at game 7 or 8 officially. So he's looked the part so far. So just don't get Sayin rattled.
Right. Mac, what do you think? If you're Ryan Day, what's your concern?
Yeah, I think probably my main concern is, like Ben said, don't let Julian Sayin get rattled. I keep going back to the Texas game. We all agree that Texas is not great, right? They're not as good as we thought they would be. They're not, somebody.
Yeah,
help me.
I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, appreciate that, guys. I keep coming back to the Texas game because I just keep thinking about how poorly Arch played. And I don't mean to keep harping on him, but as a Michigan fan, I have to point out every last detail that could possibly point to Ohio State being overrated. And unfortunately, Arch Manning's poor performance against Ohio State and since then helps me point to the fact that Ohio State might actually be a little bit overrated. But no, it was Matt Patricia called a genius game. Shut up. Matt Patricia's never done anything genius in his life. Although good for him for losing the weight. That is really great. Here's the thing. Julian Sayin played well against Texas. Texas has a good defense. Texas's defense has played well since that game as well. The problem is that Texas's offense couldn't stay on the field. And so I think we have this interesting dynamic at play here where it's like, okay, Texas, their defense is actually pretty good. And Julian Sayin obviously had to play against Texas's defense. But Texas overall is not as sharp as we thought they would be. So is Ohio State's performance against Texas indicative of Ohio State being good? Or are both of those teams a little bit overrated? Plus, it was the first game of the season. I think this is actually Ohio State's first real test. And I say that knowing that Washington hasn't actually really played anybody except for kind of Washington State, but they're not really that good. I don't think that they're terrible, but they're not that good. But it's a road game. Washington's putting up really good numbers. I think that this is actually Ohio State's first real test because Texas was never going to beat Ohio State with the way that Arch was playing. So we were never really going to know just how good Ohio State was going to be. We might know this game. And I think Ben's right. I think Washington's going to be extremely fired up for this game because they're going to look at the Ohio State that showed up against Ohio and say that team is extremely beatable. And if they can run Damon Williams, if Ohio State can't defend the dual threat quarterback, and also, mind you, Washington's got a real good running game outside of that too, Ohio State is on upset alert. And I do think Washington wins this game.
The fact that Ohio State has to travel, I heard Ohio State went out early to try to overcome some of that travel business. But the fact that they have to travel, how much of a factor do you think that will play in this game? Because this isn't, one state over. This is across the country.
That's been an interesting dynamic, and we still don't know the full effect from the first season last year of the whole West Coast, East Coast, even Central, Midwest travel.
Yeah.
But the stats so far show that the team that travels struggle the most, and that may be why the line is only 8.5.
Yeah,
that's not a big line for number one against an unranked team.
Yeah,
that's not a big line. You would think you would be at least like 14 or 15, probably.
Well, it was at one point, and that's
11. Opened at 11, wasn't it?
Actually, what I saw,
13.5, I think.
Yeah, what I saw is that
13.
It opened at 13.5. I actually saw one book had it at 14.5 in favor of Ohio State, but now pretty much everybody's got it 7.5 for Ohio State,
which is typical though. The line kind of shrinks a little bit usually, but that's not a big line when you're the number one team in the country going to an unranked team. That's just very, very low.
Yeah, it makes sense that the line shrinks a little bit because if with a line that big, you do feel like there's pretty good value as it pertains to Washington's ability to keep it close. I mean, it's at home. Washington's got a good offense. Their defense isn't exactly, it's not great, but they're playable. At that point, I feel like a lot of people saw that and started smashing Wisconsin. What is that called? Spread. Yeah. Washington spread. Jeez. And so that would make sense why the line starts to shrink a little bit at that point. But the fact that it's still, like you said, number one versus unranked, and it's only a 1 score spread, that's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm. Mac, you set up a chat goal?
I did.
Or not a chat goal. Super chat goal.
A super chat goal, yeah.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
Oh, you can't see it?
Oh, do you want me to read it? It says if we
I can read it. Okay. You can go ahead, whatever.
Actually, it's if we meet this goal, I'll name the kid whatever you want. You must be okayed with by the wife, which, let's be honest, that's not going to happen. All right. So 5 super chats?
Yep.
And is it the last one or the biggest one?
The biggest one.
The biggest one gets to name the baby, provided Elle is okay with it.
That's dangerous.
Read the fine print.
I cannot be held legally responsible if you give us your money and we don't end up naming the kid that. So sorry.
Currently, our poll, speaking of Washington, 28 votes, 68% say Washington should be ranked. According to my notes here, we've got, so the offense for Washington and Ohio State, total yards for Washington's offense is 536 to Ohio State's 475. That's per game. That's what they're putting up. Washington is putting up 55 points a game and Ohio State 40. Third down percentage, Washington is 75%. Ohio State is 46%. It seems clear if Julian Sayin has -7 rushing yards and DeMond Williams has 220 rushing yards, DeMond Williams, whether he's because I'm seeing things like DeMond Williams is a dual threat. Whether he's a dual threat or not doesn't matter. In comparison to Julian Sayin, he is. How much of an advantage do you think DeMond Williams will have in that case? Or is Julian Sayin just not had opportunity to make those rushing yards?
Julian Sayin's not a mobile quarterback.
No?
I would have to lean that way, definitely, or they just don't want to use him at all. Whereas DeMond Williams is a dual threat. They're careful still using him on a little more design, but he can scramble. He is a pretty quick, shifty little quarterback back there. I mean, he's looked good this season. So I mean, that definitely favors Washington. How they use him against Ohio State depends on what Ohio State presents to them in their game plan, obviously, of how they want to use DeMond Williams in a run game situation.
Right.
But I'm going to guess he's going to leave this game, no matter what. He's going to come out of this game with positive yards in the rushing stat.
I almost think. Wait, Julian Sayin or DeMond Williams?
DeMond Williams.
Okay, yeah. I almost think that they basically can't hold back. If they truly want to beat Ohio State, they've got to throw the kitchen sink at them. And it basically all has to be firing on all cylinders too. Oh, do you want to bring Garrison up?
Yeah, let me bring him up.
Who's Garrison? Who?
I don't
Garrison,
know. This weird guy, he just showed up.
I think he's a Washington fan, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, guys, you caught me at a
Hey,
bartending
Garrison.
shift. Hey, guys, you got done bartending.
Nice.
Yeah, so made some great money actually.
Good
But
deal.
Oh, good.
so,
Hey, us
so
too.
here's my my quick take of a synopsis of this game, okay? And
All
I
right.
gotta go, but Ohio State has not proven against anybody credible that they can run the ball nor stop. Have a good night. Nor stop. Nor have they proven they could stop the run so far this season. I mean, Texas did have some success running the ball. This will be the best running back tandem we've seen. This will be the best quarterback that we've seen so far this season. We are going against Timu Kyler Murray, so we'll see how that goes down. I think it is funny that, throughout the whole offseason, everybody like this, the size that people thought Julian Sayin was, that's what DeMond Williams really is. So I always find that really hilarious. He's actually 20 pounds heavier than him. But look, man, Washington only gives up 2 rushing yards per game, but we'll see what happens. They go against Ohio State's offensive line, which I believe is the top 5 offensive line in the country. They have Boston on the outside. He's a really good receiver. Their offensive line is, not that great. Pass defense isn't that great. I think Julian Sayin has a day. Give me Ohio State 30, Washington 20.
All right.
Hey, Garrison.
Yes, Mac. Wednesdays is ladies' night. You can get half off.
All right.
Food and drink.
Sweet.
It's really funny. Like, the guys come in here. I'm like, why don't they just identify as a woman for 2 hours, dude? It would work. But
Dude, my name is Mackenzie. I don't even have to do that much.
Just put on a wig. You're all set.
yeah, but what was your question?
No, actually, speaking of being a woman, I'm pregnant.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to start that young boy or girl's NIL fund to Ohio State.
Oh
Holy
my
hell.
gosh.
no,
yeah,
no,
I just,
no.
wow.
I'm going to be,
get the
you know what?
hell outta
I'm going to
here.
get your address and I'm going to send you a gift.
Oh, man. Well, that's
I'm
nice.
sending you a
Appreciate
gift.
you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. That's nice. of
But
you. Thank you.
you gentlemen have a good rest of your show. Congratulations on your guys winning against Nebraska. That's a very high quality. That's a high quality win right there on the road.
Thanks.
Of
Can I ask you a quick question, Garrison?
course you can.
If you're Ryan Day going out to Washington this weekend, what is your biggest concern?
DeMond Williams running the ball.
All right.
Yep.
Or actually tackling. I think on Monday's show or Tuesday's show, I said the word tackling 20 times because it's that important. They have
Yep.
big, strong running backs in Coleman and Muhammad. Mind you, Oregon last year stopped Coleman for 8 rushes for -2 yards last year. But Yeah. Hey, and speaking of Oregon, big game this week. Have you guys already done this already? It doesn't really matter. I'm only here for a couple minutes. Well, before I get out of here, Oregon's winning that game by 2 touchdowns. So you guys have a good night.
Ooh,
Give me 42 to 30. 42 to 30.
Okay. Got it.
That's respectable.
Thanks, Garrison.
Yeah. All right, see you guys. Have a good night.
See you too. All right.
Quite the score pick there.
Yeah. No kidding. Jeez.
42-30. Nice.
All right. Now here's why he was wrong about everything he said. Actually, I think I agreed with pretty much everything you said.
I was
except for
surprised.
Score prediction for Ohio State and Washington. I think Washington's going to win. I do.
Picking up a couple of these chats here. Matthew says Washington should definitely be ranked in the top 25. And Ohio, how do they have a bye week and not fall from number 1 spot? I think that's pretty typical. You don't usually move on a bye week. Not usually.
You're cutting half of Ben's.
I know.
Face
well, that's
off.
why I was doing it the other way. He told me not to.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
So Matthew
now he gets it.
Now he gets it. Yeah. Pregnancy brain, apparently.
My hormones are just off the charts.
Just off the charts, yeah. Hey, I'm judging based off what I see, and I won't lie. I truly thought Ohio Bobcats were going to defeat Ohio. It did kind of look questionable there for a minute. Let's see. John Hatfield says Ohio State pulls away in the second half and covers easy. And that's kind of how I feel about it. I think that's what Ohio State typically does. Although they actually didn't against Texas. So
well,
that.
It's a different defense.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, my issue with Texas is Arch Manning. And I understand that has basically nothing to do with Julian Sayin. But, I don't know. Julian Sayin, they didn't need to do a whole lot with Julian Sayin to beat Texas. So I feel like we don't really know what he's capable of. And if all he's capable of is what he did against Texas and Washington has as good an offense as they do, why not? That's just kind of where I'm at.
Matthew Shepard says 100% agrees with you, Mac. You are a genius.
I agree with you, too. I am a genius.
Tom Bouchard says Washington has to have a good run game.
Yeah.
Which is what also Garrison was just saying, too.
We were, too. It's not
and
like
you
Garrison's
were, too. Yeah, I guess
here.
That's true. Yeah. I was just because Garrison is the Ohio State fan is why I pointed that out. But Rufus says Ohio State go win. So there's that. Matthew is throwing it down here. Penn State and Washington is winning. Write it down. All right, I'm going to write it down.
All right. We're taking your word for it, Matthew.
Penn State winning. If they don't win, I will call the NCAA and tell them that somebody's been cheating. GG Dope says, how is North Dakota? How is Notre Dame ranked after 0-2? Washington not ranked after 3-0. I don't know why North Dakota isn't ranked. I think they should be.
Duh.
Obviously. All right. It's always something fun here. Let's talk about Oregon and Penn State. So here, let me get these papers out of the way and grab these papers over here. Oregon, Penn State. We got number 6 Oregon going to Penn State, so they have to travel this direction. The spread is currently 3.5, 3.5, with the over-under being 51.5. They are both undefeated, so somebody is walking away from this game with their first L of the season. Is this the game? We didn't talk about Drew Allar when we were talking about quarterbacks. I left him out because I figured we'd be talking about him here with Penn State. Is this the game where Drew Allar finally silences the critics?
Drew Allar is not the issue.
Isn't he?
I don't think so. I
know James Franklin has a problem there, but
to me it's James Franklin, but
Drew Allar has, he is the most experienced of the quarterbacks right now. He is, let's see, 3-0, 38.8 QBR. So if we were looking at QBR, and I know we talked about QBR not really being an issue, but if Dante Moore has an 83.7 QBR, Allar, who has more experience, has a 38.8.
I think that's average.
Also, his rating is 137. So his rating is 60 points lower than Dante Moore.
Which is funny, too, because the whole thing Penn State focused on this offseason was helping the wide receiver room. For instance, they got Pena from Syracuse, who was, for all intents and purposes, a really good receiver for Syracuse last year. And while he's still doing okay for Penn State, he's their leading receiver, unless something's changed while they haven't been playing. It's not been good. I don't know what is going on with Penn State's offense, but it has been up and down, and they start really slow. That's kind of been their problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the one game? I should have their schedule right in front of me. It was like 10-0 at halftime.
Yeah,
Penn State.
I think that was against either Villanova or FIU. I think it was FIU.
It was like 10-0 at halftime. That's
FIU.
That's wild. It's FIU.
Yeah, Florida International. Seriously,
I saw a statistic earlier. Someone named a statistic. I don't know where this came from. It was like the Scranton Index, Power Index, or something that's known for college football. Or they literally listed Penn State's record right now. It's something like 230th, and there's only 130 some FBS teams. So that means they're lower than some FCS schools apparently in strength of schedule. So, or something due to the power index or something that this thing uses.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean, that's the crappy thing too for Penn State is they haven't played anybody.
Yeah, they've got Nevada, FIU, and Villanova so far.
Yeah.
Which in defense of them too, Oregon hasn't played anyone really good either. Now that's not their fault. Oklahoma State's been a dumpster fire. I mean, we killed Mike Gundy's coaching career at Oklahoma State. We abolished it.
Yeah.
Thanks Tulsa for finishing it off. Putting the final nail in there. But Northwestern not great. Oregon State, they're not great either now. But those could have been really good games before. But this FIU I keep forgetting Villanova has a football team.
I know. I know. Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. So, okay, I know I said that I didn't think that Drew Allar was the problem, but he actually, he threw the interception against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. I don't think that they should have called that play. It was 2nd down and 2. Like, I get it. That's like, okay, this is where you go long. Yeah, but you had over 2 minutes left. Why couldn't you put something methodical together and get a little bit closer to the end zone or something before you decide to throw into double coverage? I don't know.
And they had run for like 297 yards.
Yeah, that too. Like they were playing well on the whatever. But and then he throws the interception against Notre Dame to end their playoff appearance as well. So I get it. Like he doesn't make necessarily the best decisions, but I feel like he's always put in a position where James Franklin is asking him to save his job. And it's funny because James Franklin's job, if you really think about it, it's not in danger. They're always like a top 15 team under him. They're always winning 10 games, except for there are a handful of seasons where they haven't. I get it. But usually they're not a bad team under James Franklin. And in today's NIL, CFP, expanded Big Ten structure, does Penn State really want to fire James Franklin and start over? No. So I think his job is safe, but I think that James Franklin doesn't think that his job is safe. And so he kind of coaches like that. He coaches not to lose. And late in the game, that puts them in a position where he then has to ask Drew Allar, I don't care, to go and save him. And Drew Allar is just like, I'm just Drew Allar. So,
well, and again, the James Franklin, like you said, you made a great point there, is he's got this built-in pressure around him, especially when he's playing at home, because there's the other line where he hasn't beat a regular season top 10 team, I think they said, since 2016, and that was when he won the Big Ten, right? The only year.
Yeah.
So that was when he beat Ohio State, I believe, and probably another one. But so it's been 9 years since he's beat a regular season top 10 team. And yeah, so people are getting tired of it. I've seen the fan base to go, come on, give us one, once in a while.
Do something. Yeah, I go back to last year's Ohio State game too, where they're on like the 4-yard line. And I get it. Ohio State's goal line defense is really good. But here's the thing, first and goal from the 4, they run the ball, they get a yard. Second and goal from the 3, they run the ball, they get a yard. Third and goal from the 2, they run the ball, they get a yard. Fourth and goal from the 1, they throw the ball.
Pick.
Why? You were getting a yard each play. Just lean forward and sneeze. You'll get it. And that was the game right there. That would have won them the game. It's things like that I look at James Franklin and I say, you've got what you need. I mean, he is literally Penn State's version of Jim Harbaugh. He's got everything he needs, but for some reason, he still just loses those big games. He's got Jim Harbaugh prior to 2021.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, he's got one basic difference from Jim Harbaugh, and that's that Jim Harbaugh knows that, or at least figured it out anyway, that you can in order to have
spy on other teams.
Well, you have to do that.
Obviously.
In order to compete, you've got to have that sort of crazy edge, which allows you to make those crazy calls every once in a while. And I don't think James Franklin can do that.
Well, I
think he has a book that tells him do this, this, and this, and he follows it every time.
He does, but he calls them in the wrong situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
He's lacking that situational. Now is when I go a little crazy here, like Les Miles, back in the day when he was good.
Right.
You call him, but then again, too, you look like a genius if it works. You look like an absolute idiot if it fails. It's.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look at, even Ryan Day to some extent is a fairly conservative play caller. And then it really shows up when he plays Michigan the last 4 years, because we saw it where on 4th down, all of a sudden he's calling these dumb plays where they could have won the game if they had just thrown it instead of tried to run it or whatever. But I think like Dan Lanning, from what I've watched of Dan Lanning, he has sort of that crazy chip in his head, which allows him to play conservative until he just needs to fake everybody out and throw in a couple of crazy plays.
He does. He's learned though to be better situationally. That's something we saw the first 2 years, is that he would do stuff a little maybe too aggressively.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would backfire. Other times you'd be like, wow, that was nice. But
right
when it didn't work, but so he's learned from that. But Franklin's stuck in this rut. Like you say, he's just like, he feels like he's insecure about his job, or he hates the backlash, but yet he can't get out of his own way sometimes with his play calling or decision making.
Yeah, it's that one bit that takes you from being a good coach to a great coach, and it takes a little bit of crazy to get there. I think anyway. But we saw, like with Dan Lanning last year, Dan Lanning was even willing to push against the rules as hard as he possibly could.
He made a rule change within 3 days.
Right.
The NCAA has never moved so fast.
Yep. Because Dan Lanning was crazy enough to push that rule to its limit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to do.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking though. Like, as you're talking about Dan Lanning, like he's kind of got the kamikaze, if you will, and sometimes he calls crazy plays every once in a while, and James Franklin calls crazy plays every once in a while, but really in poor situations. I never saw it, but do you guys remember Freddy versus Jason, that horror movie?
I never saw it, but I remember.
I never saw it either. I just remember seeing the cover. I feel like James Franklin versus Dan Lanning is more like that if it were a children's movie. So just, really flat beige characters who are like, they use all exposition to say, I'm crazy, I'm crazier. And then both of them lose. And they realize in the end, the real thing that they were missing was friendship. That's what I feel like we're going to get from James Franklin and Dan Lanning.
But I think you can see it, like, even in the press conferences. James Franklin just basically, sits there. And what's weird about James Franklin is he just, sits there and, point to point answers these questions. But then he'll every once in a while say things like that one press conference where he's like, hey, did you get a haircut? Oh, it looks nice. He does weird things handsome. Like that. You look very handsome. Yeah. But Dan Lanning's press conferences seem a little bit edgier, I think. That's why, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. But overall, if we're looking at these categories, according to this chart anyway, Oregon has the advantage at both QB and offense. And then Penn State has defense, special teams. Oh, and travel again. But so comparing Dante Moore to Drew Allar, Dante Moore has a 74.7% completion average. Drew Allar has a 64.8% completion average.
His completion percentage dipped under 60% against Villanova and FIU too.
Did it really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dante Moore has 962 yards in the air. Drew has 626. Dante Moore has 11 touchdowns. Drew has 4. They both have 1 interception. Dante has 87 rushing yards. Drew has 27. I mean, Drew Allar is just not as dynamic a quarterback as Dante Moore.
That's why Michigan wanted Dante Moore so bad.
All right.
Well, a lot of teams wanted Dante Moore, and again, he went. Yeah. He did commit to Oregon first, but he wanted to play, so he went to UCLA.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting behind Bo Nix, then he realized that was a mistake because he realized, oh, I'm not ready for this, and that was still under Chip Kelly.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
So he wasn't ready, and then he realized, and he came back and he sat for that year behind Dylan Gabriel. I mean, and so far, I will say I've been shocked at how average Allar is right now. Like he's just there. Like he's not. I thought this year would be that year. He came back specifically. Remember, they ran off Perbula.
Yeah,
because he decided to return. And Perbula is looking okay at Missouri now. He's looking okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but Dante, I'm surprised at actually how poised he's seemed already. Now this will be a whole different monster. I'm sorry, playing at Evanston in front of 12,000 people is not exactly like an intimidating atmosphere.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is the pinnacle of college football.
I mean, it's a great setting. We were really hoping they'd bring the giant inflatable duck and put it in the lake.
Oh yeah,
behind the stadium.
Oh, they didn't?
No, they didn't. They didn't have time to like pull it out of storage or wherever it's at right now. But I think that's an advantage though. Penn State's been at home playing nobody. Oregon at least has gone on a road trip all the way to Evanston now.
Yeah,
played a game, gotten a little feel for the travel. I think that's advantage, but the atmosphere of the whiteout is going to be a whole different monster, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a night game though?
Yes.
I don't think
7:30.
It isn't. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, it's a whiteout. Yep.
Yeah. Well, they've had some of their whiteouts have been at noon for some reason.
Oh yeah,
and that's going to be one of the biggest factors there. That whiteout, apparently, from what they say, is one of the worst environments to play in for an opponent. So, because it gets loud and obnoxious, and
it's funny. Like I saw a stat that it's regarded as one of the most incredible atmospheres in college football, but from a win-loss percentage, it's actually not that great.
Okay,
like it's not. It doesn't actually help as much as you'd think it would.
It's all theatrics.
Yeah, because James Franklin's still the coach, guys.
Well, and okay, so if I'm looking at the stats for offense and defense, and they're not that far apart. I guess Oregon clearly has, an advantage on offense, but not an extreme advantage. And then on defense, I'd say Penn State has a slight advantage. You've got Yards allowed for Penn State is 224, for Oregon 228. Scoring defense is 5.5 for Penn State and 9.3 for Oregon. And Penn State is actually first in the FBS. They've both got multiple turnovers forced. So Penn State has 7, Oregon has 4. I mean, they're giving Penn State the edge on defense, but I don't know that it's that big of an edge.
But the thing is, too, is like Penn State's defense has to play Oregon's offense.
Right.
So, and Oregon's offense is tested. Well, I shouldn't say that. They've played better competition than Penn State anyway.
Yeah.
And sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Oh no, I was going to agree with you. I was like, I think that's what we went to again. Is like, look at who look at who Penn State's played.
Yeah.
Look who Oregon's played, and then Oregon has rotated. Like the Oklahoma State game, Oregon rotated 81 people, 81 players. Now, of course, now you're going to start redshirting a bunch of these guys because it's game 5 now. But by the fourth quarter, they pulled their that's your third and fourth string guys in there. So that's where you're giving up some of these yards, like we did to Northwestern to give up those 14 points. That was all in like the third and fourth stringers. It was 31-0 at like the end of the third quarter or something like that. I mean, it was, and they pulled everyone.
Yeah.
Jeez.
In the chat, I forgot to ask this earlier, but in the chat, give us your score predictions, not only for Oregon and Penn State, but also for Ohio State and Washington, and we'll pop those up there. And while I'm asking them to do that, I forgot to ask you guys your score predictions for Ohio State and Penn State. But before we do that, what's your prediction, Mac, for Oregon and Penn State?
Wow. Oregon 31, Penn State 17.
Ooh.
I'm probably going to regret that.
That's that's a shutdown right there.
I just think Oregon's offense is just better.
Yeah.
I think Drew Allar is going to overthink himself into making some serious mistakes, and Oregon's going to pull away.
All right. Ben, what do you got?
I thought I was going to have to change my score because he said 31 at first, because I did our score prediction last night on Quacking Off channel for this.
Yep.
I give Penn State a little more credit, especially maybe that's a little bit due to last year's Big Ten championship. But with the way Penn started off, the whole point is I think they will end up chasing Oregon a bit. I think they'll be kind of shell shocked. I know they have Knowles, great DC, but year one, Will Stein has put everything on the table already to go.
Yeah.
Look at what I can do. Let's see what you can do. So and I'm sorry, Penn State doesn't have Tyler Warren to save him anymore. Reynolds is a good tight end, but it's not Tyler Warren by any means. So I was a little nicer to Penn State, but I do think Oregon will actually take it over at 31-27.
Ooh.
A little bit of a comeback last second by Penn State to try to make it interesting, kind of like the Big Ten title game.
Yep.
But I think Oregon can walk out of there with a victory. At the beginning of the year, I'm honest to be people. I said this was a loss. I went straight up. This is probably a loss.
Yeah.
But I've been much more confident now. So 31-27. Oregon takes it and continues, as your chat keeps saying, continues to make the Big Ten regret inviting the Ducks into the conference.
Letting you guys in, Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season, we all kind of thought, okay, Franklin's got it this year. Surely this year he's going to do it. But I don't know that. I mean, based on the stats I'm seeing, I don't know that that's going to happen. But the
whiteout environment's the only thing that does make me nervous.
Yeah.
So like we said about Washington, how does this team handle it? How does Dante Moore do if he makes a mistake? So it's the similar thing.
Yeah.
We'll see.
GG Dope says, I don't know on this game. Franklin is not to be trusted. I agree wholeheartedly. Matthew says, I'd hate to say it, but Oregon walked in the Big Ten like they own us all. And they did nicely, but by doing so, a lot of revenge games.
It's true.
I think this was on your Franklin and Lanning comment. Care Bears.
Yeah.
OSU humbled Oregon. Is that true?
Well, in the Rose Bowl, yes.
Yes, in the Rose Bowl, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, let's not forget, Ohio State was the one that decided to take a nap on the field. All right. Come on.
The regular season, yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew says, I've seen a big change in Drew Allar. I honestly believe it'll show in this game.
Like for the positive or negative?
Well, I would assume for the positive, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. It's just because like his passing completion percentage went down below 60 against FIU and Nevada, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then he himself also said that he's overthinking. Like he's getting anxious during games and all that. So yeah. I don't know.
Mr. Bucknut says he's got Penn this time. Got to see Oregon face an elite Big Ten team outside of Outson. We all know what happened in the Rose Bowl. Matthew says those whiteout games are extremely distracting. Yep.
Yeah.
Distracting visually and auditorily. It will distract certain teams. Oregon has only been in the Big Ten, 1 year? This year is year 2. Yes.
John, let's be honest. If Oregon wins this game, they're probably winning out because they don't play Ohio State, right?
No, just Indiana and at Iowa. Those are the only. And well, then we have USC and at Washington. So there are still a potential couple other trip games,
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Washington towards the end of the season. USC doesn't have a defense. They have an incredible offense, but they don't have a defense. Indiana will be interesting, but like, let's be honest. If Oregon beats Penn State and then handles Indiana, like I feel like natural law would dictate, then let's be honest. They're winning the Big Ten again. Like, sorry.
John Hatfield says, I'm betting on Penn State, but don't feel great about it. Franklin gets multiple tries a year. He has to win one big game eventually. You would think. Maybe he's due. I don't know.
If Oregon was to win out and win the Big Ten for the second year in a row, undefeated, even just win the Big Ten with one loss or something like that, could Oregon potentially ask for full revenue share? Like immediately, like just bump us up a couple years?
I mean, probably. That would be crazy. Hey, Mac.
What just happened?
Hey, you went on vacation or something. The baby's getting to you already.
How? I don't see it, baby.
You didn't hear what Ben said then, did you?
No, I guess I didn't.
If Oregon goes and wins the Big Ten again, do they deserve what did you say, a full share?
The full revenue share, like TV
full
share.
Revenue share.
Like the full share, because we're only getting like a percentage, remember. USC and UCLA are getting full Big Ten money, where Oregon and Washington are only getting partial.
Yeah, but you guys are getting that Nike money from Phil Knight.
And we want the rest of it too.
We want it all. We want it all.
No, you guys are getting too much Nike money, and you're not a big enough draw.
This is Penn State talk up here, this hate speech, just because they're switching to Adidas.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they switched their contract next year to Adidas fully.
Well, I think, speaking as a Michigan fan, I can tell you right now that that's a bad move. Our Adidas uniforms, our Adidas uniforms back during the Brady Hoke era were dreadful, just absolutely dreadful. Do you remember the bumblebee looking things?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. All right, Mr. Bucknut says Washington is building a team like their rival Oregon OSU 34-17 over Washington Penn 24-21. A little bit closer.
Spelled THEIR, Mr. Bucknuts.
All right. But 34-17 for the Oregon game, 24-21 for the wait a minute. Oregon OSU 34-17 over
Washington, and then Penn State over Oregon.
All right, okay. That's all right. Gigi says this is completely off topic, but I'd like to know how you guys feel about it. How do you guys feel about it?
The rest of his chat. Well, I got to tell you, Gigi, not great, man. Not great.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Do you guys still 100% trust Sharon Moore? There was so much trash talk after the Oklahoma loss, but since then, all of that has pretty much evaporated. If we did lose Moore, who would be your ideal coach?
Coach. I love it. No, it's a good question. All right. I'm still a Sharon Moore apologist. Okay. I evangelize the good name of Sharon Moore. That felt wrong. That felt last minute. Anyway, I still believe in Sharon Moore. I really do. The reason being is mostly he's banked a lot of goodwill with me in terms of our 2026 recruiting class and the fact that he brought in Bryce Underwood. I think it's great that he looked at what happened with Davis Warren and Alex Orji, and I will have absolutely zero Davis Warren or Alex Orji slander in my chat or on this channel.
Well,
period.
Davis Warren, at least. Alex Orji didn't. Well, maybe it wasn't his fault, but Davis Warren did far better than Alex Orji.
He had the longest run against Ohio State. What are you doing right now?
Okay.
This guy, I can't. So
I can't even.
So he banked a lot of goodwill with me over his recruiting and all that, bringing in Bryce Underwood and such. The Oklahoma situation, there was a lot of talk before Oklahoma. He was really fired up before Oklahoma. It didn't pan out. Was it because we didn't have the right game plan? It's like I said earlier, I think they went with the game plan that saved Bryce Underwood's psyche. So I think they did the right thing. And then I think you saw them do the right thing against Central, seeing what they've got in terms of their Ferrari at quarterback and actually letting him loose. And then dialing it back a little bit against Nebraska, because I don't know if anybody noticed, but Michigan's O-line trashed Nebraska's D-line that entire game. I mean, Michigan owned the trenches on both sides. That's Harbaugh football right there, and that's Sharon Moore football by extension. So I do still believe in Sharon Moore. I'd like to see him build up the offensive line again to where it was under Harbaugh. But for right now, I do still believe in Sharon Moore. And honestly, look at it this way too. From last year to this year, we've already seen an incredible amount of improvement in the on-field product. Last season, they lost to Indiana, Illinois. They lost to some not very good. They lost to Washington. Okay. What's the equivalent to this year as like last year's Washington game, for instance? I would say it's the Nebraska game. And last season, Michigan loses that game. This season, Michigan got punched in the mouth multiple times, one of which was by themselves, and they still won. I think that's a big deal. I think there's something to be said for that. So yeah, I am still a Sharon Moore believer. But if Sharon Moore were to leave, dude, Biff Poggi. just because of his post-game interviews are just legendary. I mean, that's Mike Leach kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's the character.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about it. Ben, do you have any thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Sharon Moore?
Well, you know, there would be no Orji slander, but remember he did run into the camera crane last year against Oregon. You know, that
was Samaj Morgan's fault.
I know, but he still ran into it.
It was really funny. 10
yards off the sideline, like coming in hot.
It's clotheslined by a camera crane.
You know, as long as Moore is consistent in building, then I think you're fine. What you don't want to see, and this is what you don't know yet, is because much like what happened last time Jim Harbaugh left the college football team, another coach took over and he had a lot of success. And then it went downhill after multiple years in David Shaw.
Oh, at Stanford?
Yeah, who was a very respected coach and did really well for multiple years, and then it went just into the tank. Yeah. So, as long as that doesn't happen, or you hold on to him for as long as Stanford did, but Stanford's in a whole different place than Michigan is, especially when it comes to football. So, yeah. I don't think you'll have to worry about that. But as soon as you start seeing any decline, yank.
Might be time to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew Shepard has Penn State 43, Oregon 27.
Blasphemy.
Span what?
No.
Do you want me to go back to it?
No.
All right. Span Marchiola. Penn State has kept its cards close to the vest for 3 weeks. Penn State 38, Oregon 27. While you're thinking about that, Mr. Bucknuts here says, what makes you laugh makes you cry. You can't cheat this time. I'm sorry that Michigan watched football games and somehow that's cheating.
No, Mr. Nuts here's dropping bars, though, man. Anymore. Somebody drop a beat for me.
No.
Oh, come on. Makes you laugh, makes you cry. Can't cheat this time.
Is that too fast?
Yeah. Well, so now you've set the bar so low for the show.
Yeah, well, that bar was already in hell.
He also says OSU wins the Big Ten with a natty. Oregon 100 unis, no natty.
Is Ohio State copying USC and Washington trolling now? Is that how low Ohio State's gone? Wow.
Everybody, Keegan? Oh, Mr. Bucknuts 8-4 here. Let's see. Managed 11-1. Okay, those are all the predictions.
I like that prediction better.
The 11-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
That's a good one.
Jumping back to the Ohio State game, I forgot to get you guys' score picks on that one. Ben, what do you got for Ohio State, Washington?
This is a tough one. But like we said, the spread is relatively small. Just over, one score at 8.5.
Yeah.
Washington undefeated, looking pretty good. Ohio State, outside the Texas game, if that's what you want to call challenging at home, their first, real, I think, test in a sense since then. I'm going to go a little crazy here.
Do it.
Washington 28, Ohio State 24.
Hey!
Oh, that pains me to say it too.
No. You'll get used to hating on Ohio State.
Root for Huskies.
Don't give in, Ben. Let the crazy flow through your veins.
Oh, that's painful.
No, it's not painful. It's glorious.
Mac, what's your pick for Ohio State, Washington?
So to be totally and completely honest with you, I was actually going to pick 28-24 Washington as well. But in the spirit of not picking the exact same score as Ben, give me 31-21 Washington.
Ooh.
Huskies all the way. Bork.
Keegan has Washington 100, Ohio State 0.
Wow. I mean, I did that on NCAA 14 one time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody out there in the chat. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing the show, we would really appreciate it.
We would.
We love having you guys around here. I think that's going to do it for us tonight. Ben, thank you for being here. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, no problem. Always a pleasure, especially with this big game coming up. Next week's the bye week, so maybe I won't be. You guys are too much. But
cool.
Yeah, you can find Spaz and I over on the Quacking Off channel, as we will be continuing to discuss football all long season, doing live post games as well as the After Dark show on Saturday or Sunday nights, depending on availability. And hopefully we'll see some of you over there and join us as we talk Oregon football.
Excellent. We will be over there. Thank you very much for being on. We will, either we'll talk to you next week or we won't, depending on if you're going to take a vacation for the bye week.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Have a good night.
All right.
See you, dude.
Have fun.
See ya. All right. Oh, we got a couple more. Mr. Bucknuts here. 34-20 or 34-17 OSU.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Whatever.
I didn't want to say it in front of Ben, but that's probably true.
Wait a minute here. John Hatfield says, if I was running Michigan and Sharon was gone, I'd poach Signetti from Indiana. I mean,
I don't know. Indiana's got money now.
Yeah, I heard their NIL is killing it now.
Their NIL's killing it. Their assistant coaching pool is killing it. They've got like the second largest assistant coaching pool salary fund thingamajigger now in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, EP is out there. Hey, EP.
Hey, EP.
See, I can't wait till November 30th. Yeah, me too. That's going to be a good game, I think.
Oh, hey, new people I can tell. Check this out, guys.
Making the announcement one more time.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We'll stay on for like another 5 minutes because, real talk, I'm having a baby. So I really need your super chats for diapers.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
Let's see. Oregon should beat Penn State.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's what I called.
Yep.
But I don't
That's
think
coming
Keegan,
from
you were
Keegan.
here yet when I called that. So yes, I called Oregon over Penn State. I don't know.
Yeah.
So whoever said that Penn State's keeping things close to the vest so far, maybe that's true. But the thing is I don't really like to bank on that. How many times as Michigan fans did we say like, oh, they're holding back. Like they were holding back against New Mexico. That's why, New Mexico was actually pretty good. And then we were like, well, they're going to go into Oklahoma and they're going to unleash Bryce. And then they didn't. And we lost. Like, Yeah.
Yeah. EP says, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, EP. Appreciate that.
Nice stuff there. Oh, that's
Those
right.
are
Matthew
funny
says
emojis.
he has an extra pack of size 5 diapers if you need them.
Okay,
Might
so
be a
here's
little
the
while
thing, though.
for the size 5s, but
Oh, is that big?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think that's
likely
more
going to be.
toddler size. I think,
Oh, okay.
if I remember correctly.
I mean, I guess I could hang on to those and then maybe use them when I'm 80, or 90.
Well, you'd have to be smaller.
Yeah, you start to shrivel up as you get older.
Oh, I see. Our kids jumped to sizes 6 and 7. Nice.
Wow.
Kids are growing up fast.
Yeah, jeez.
All right. Bucknuts.
Matthew-
Oregon don't win nothing when it matters. They worry more about their overrated unis. They do like to change their uniforms a lot.
That's also kind of true.
All right.
So, Matthew Shepard, are you the guy who runs what's it called? Dependent Fanatic by chance? Because you look just like him. So
No,
if that's you.
Well, no, that's not Dependent Fanatic.
Oh no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you've seen Dependent Fanatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look very similar.
Yeah, he's kind of cool because he starts every show where he plays a song and kind of like jams to it.
That's cool. I like
It's
that.
fun.
Yeah. No. Okay. Sorry,
He's
Matthew.
a good guy though too. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys kind of look similar, so I thought I'd ask. So
Yeah. All right. I think that's all we've got for tonight. We talked
Is that all we
quarterbacks.
got?
We talked Ohio State, Washington. We talked Oregon, Penn State. And we talked about the babies that are coming, the baby. And I think that's going to do it. I think we're good. We got a bye week this week for Michigan. So it's like,
yeah.
I guess you can just sort of, if you're not doing anything, you can watch other teams watch or play football. But I don't know if there's a point to that.
That seems really lame, honestly.
It's strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. My name is Cliff. You can find me on X also. Although I just changed my username. I forgot what it was. Matt
I still have to change mine.
can also be found on X.
But I'm going to change.
It changes too.
I'm going to change my name, not the handle though. So I'm at B1G Team Rivalry.
Mine is Clifford Part 2. Doing the whole second act
There
thing
you go.
because
Second act.
I'm old now. That's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate all you guys out there. We love having you guys in the chat. Love you guys talking with us about football. All rise for Keegan. That's going to do it for us tonight. Any last words, Mac?
Last word. Are you going to kill me? All right.
This is it. It's over.
I guess this is it, guys. I just want to say it's been real. Apparently the killer's him.
You're going to be fine. Don't worry.
Oh, all right. Cool. No, I don't have any last words.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being out there. Thanks for watching the show. We will be back next week. Mac has his videos that come out during the week. Look for those. And I think that's going to do it. Mac, take us out.
This is the Michigan Wolverines Team Rivalry Show.
We can't say Wolverine. You can't say Michigan Wolverines. It's copyrighted, remember?
But that's the name of the channel, isn't it?
No, it's Michigan Team Rivalry.
No, we named it Michigan Wolverines Team Rivalry.
Well, we got to change it.
No, it's It's okay because it's YouTube. We just can't put it on